Greetings, YouTube. The Doctor is in. Dr. Urias Papers here, coming at you with another commentary on Dungeons & Dragons. And today on the Doctor Spell Prognosis, we are talking about the spell Awaken. We are not giving this an A, but I am going to give this one a B+, because there's a couple of riders that come in with it and requirements and things that you have to do before you can really get full use of this. But once you can get full use of this spell, it is amazing. But first, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. If you like this video, hit the like button. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave a question or comment. All right. Awaken is a 5th level spell. It has a casting time of 8 hours. So that is really long, considering what you're trying to do. It has a range of touch, verbal, somatic, and material component, which is an agate worth at least 1,000 gold pieces, which disappears with the spell. So it is also an expensive spell. After spending the casting time tracing magical patterns within a precious gemstone, you got the agate, you're tracing pathways and magical ruins into the gemstone. You touch a huge or smaller beast or plant. The target must have either no intelligence score or an intelligence score or 3 or less. Target gains an intelligence of 10. The target also gains the ability to speak one language you know, so you could say common. If the target is a plant, it gains the ability to move its limbs, roots, vines, creepers, so forth, and it gains senses similar to humans. Your GM chooses statistics appropriate for the awakened plant, such as the statistics for the awakened shrub or the awakened tree. The awakened beast or plant is charmed by you for 30 days or until you or your companions do anything harmful to it. When the charm condition ends, the awakened creature chooses whether to remain friendly to you based on how you treat it while it was charmed. So, now we got to pay attention to this, because this is a very specific condition. So, a charmed creature cannot attack the charmer or target the charmer with harmful abilities or magical effects. But that doesn't say the charmer's friends. That just says the charmer, okay? Now, the way to get it to not attack your friends or allies is the second bullet. The charmer has advantage on any ability check to interact socially with the creature, okay? So, how in the world... So with a plant, this is easy. I mean, a tree's not going anywhere. A shrub's not going anywhere. So, you can just sit there with a tree and then awaken it. And then it'll start moving. Now, an awakened tree is huge. It has 59 hit points and armor class of 13. And it does okay damage. It's not great. It's not the greatest thing. The greatest thing in this is the beast, because it doesn't specify challenge rating at all. It specifies intelligence score, and it also specifies size. Huge or smaller. 3 or less intelligence score. Now, how do you get a beast to stand still long enough that you can cast this spell? Well, animal friendship. And by the way, this spell is usable by bards and druids. Bards and druids can also use animal friendship, which is a 1st level spell that lasts for 24 hours. You convince a beast you mean no harm. We've already been over this spell. You choose it within range. It's got to make a wisdom check, or it's charmed by you, and then immediately after you charm it, you use you socially interact with it. And the way that you want to do that is you want to go down to the Persuasion. You don't want to intimidate it. You don't really want to lie to it, but you do want to persuade it. That's a really important thing. And then once you've persuaded it that you're its friend and not to attack its allies and to follow you, then, your GM may ask you to do a persuasion check every once in a while. I think a bard is actually a better class for this than a druid, but you could have a druid with a high charisma that is trained in persuasion. But more than likely, you're going to have a bard who is going to have a high charisma, and you should have a high charisma when you're casting a 5th level spell. And you could also be trained in Persuasion. You should be trained in Persuasion as a bard. You could have a bard sorcerer, combo too. That's good with charisma. But this is one of the ways. It's not all the ways, but this is one of the ways that you could get that creature to kind of be there. It's going to be charmed for 24 hours. You have advantage on social checks with it. You could feed it. You could convince it that you're going to help take care of it, that you have, a mutual thing where you take care of it, it takes care of you, and then you can get it to sit there or go to sleep, and then you cast Awaken on it, and at the end of that, it's charmed by you for 30 days, and it gets an intelligence score, and you can talk to it. Okay? Now, again, I always like the College of Eloquence spell because this animal friendship requires a wisdom saving throw. And why not use unsettling words to put a penalty on that wisdom saving throw? Now, what beasts are good? Well, I'm going to go to the Tyrannosaurus Rex first. We're going to go right to that one. It is huge, so it's huge or less, and it has an intelligence score of 2, which is 3 or less. It gets multi-attack. It has 136 hit points. It has a 25 strength. It gets multi-attack. It makes 2 attacks, one with its bite and one with its tail. The bite does 4d12 plus 7 at a plus 10, and it grapples, and it restrains. And the tail does plus 10 to hit, 3d8 plus 7 damage. This thing is a wrecking machine. You just have to kind of keep it happy with persuasion checks and probably a lot of food. What else do we got? Well, we got the giant crab from White Plume Mountain. 161 hit points. Intelligence of 1. It's huge. 4d10 plus 9 to hit. 4d10 plus 5 damage and grappled. And it can do 2 targets at once. What else do we got? Well, we got a mammoth. We can't do a giant ape because a giant ape has a intelligence too high. We've got a mammoth. Intelligence of 3. Huge. Gore or Stomp plus 10 to hit. 4d8 plus 7 or 4d10 plus 7. And it does this trampling charge. So if the mammoth moves at least 20 feet towards a creature, it has to make a DC 18 strength check or be knocked prone. If the target is prone, the mammoth can make 1 stomp attack at it as a bonus action. So you move, prone it, stomp it, and then stomp it again as an action. Triceratops, large subterranean lizard, hulking crab, giant crocodile, brontosaurus, stegosaurus. I mean, there's a lot of different choices that you could take with this. As long as you can get the animal friendship on them, get them on your side, do your persuasion checks so they can sit still long enough that you can awaken them, and then you can talk with them and ride them and do whatever. A good way to get kind of a permanent type, almost a permanent type of beast. So, all right, that's what I got for today. I appreciate everybody tuning in, and I will catch everybody later.